Okay, guys.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Netter, and I'm going to announce tonight I'm a little ticked off, not at you guys, but as usual, as Gavin Newsom, and I'll talk to you about that in 1 second. Listen, everybody, tonight, Cordy's on assignment in Oklahoma, if you will. Okay, forgot his computer. Dan, our usual tech guy, isn't here, and I want you to know that us leading this recall charge go at it every week, and it's important to note that, because we need a lot of strength and stamina. We qualified for the first round, and I don't really give a rodent's posterior a polite way of saying, you know what, who's listening to this video. The left is striking back.
You don't give a rat's ass, Mike? What the hell?
I'm trying to be nice. Rodent's posterior, okay? Those people are looking that up real quick. That's a rat's ass. Let me tell you something I find absolutely friggin' ridiculous, and I want to go on record saying this. With all the issues going on in the state today, how's it working out for you that they're trying to pass a bill so recall signers can be outed, if you will, to the folks that signed it? That's exactly what we need in California right now. And isn't it just amazing that the guy doing it is a former recall target himself? There's a lot more to come, let me tell you.
You went from rat's ass to ass hat, right?
I did.
Just in the same.
I'm giving it up, Warren. I'm not going to be polite anymore. Okay, I've about had it because we're qualifying for the ballot, whether you like it or not. All right, I'm going to flip to Oren for a couple seconds, or we're going to flip to guests. We've got a lot of updates for you tonight, a lot of things that we need you to do to keep this drive not just alive, because it's alive whether you like it or not, but to make sure that we're successful in the next 4 months.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. God bless, and God bless everybody that is listening in tonight and who's joining us. And we have the esteemed Ben Berkwam with us tonight. And Ben, we're going to get to you in just a minute. I just hope that you have permission to be where you are right now, because it looks like you're standing right in the middle of Stuart and Linda Resnick's newest orchard out there in Kern County, somewhere in middle California. And I'm not sure they'd like to have you trespassing on their land, my friend.
Sanctuary. That's all I have to say. Sanctuary, and then they let me stay. So sanctuary. That's it. If illegals can do it, I can do it, right?
There you go. All right, Mike, back to you real quick.
Okay. For everybody out there watching, let's be clear on a couple updates here. The reason Gavin's side, if you will, let's be realistic, is in a panic. And by the way, please sign up for Gavin's email to stop the recall. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. But I find it very, very humorous. We need $3. We need help. Look at all the money that the other side's raised. Apparently, they haven't seen our bank account, but that's a story for another day, as I like to say. Here's what's really interesting. Gavin Newsom is in a panic, and you could tell it hurts me tremendously. How much of a panic and idiot things that they're pulling right now. Or do you want to read the letter to start the show that we got this week, or you just want to talk about it?
You know what? You can read through it or just skip to the highlights. It's an open letter from Don Perata, another asshat on the opposition. Sorry for my language, folks, but it's tough to classify these folks in any other light. And I know, and I apologize for the members of the media that are watching tonight, but folks, this is true psychological warfare. And this is what we're having to experience right now. This is real time. This is happening. This is happening in California. today, real time. We are not flashing back to the socialist takeover of Germany or any other land. This is California, and this is happening real time right now. And Mike, go ahead, read through some of the highlights.
Well, let me highlight it. So the day that Orrin was speaking in front of this state Senate committee about stopping 663, we got an email with a letter from Don Perata. For those of you that don't give a damn, and I frankly don't, Don Perata is the President Emeritus, meaning the guy without a job right now, head of the former state Senate from 2003 to 2008. Don Perata asked us, oh, please send us the names of all the proponents, or not all the proponents, all the participants that signed the recall. We want them immediately so we can advise them that they probably made a wrong decision. And if you don't, we're going to threaten your asses with legal action. Now, there's two punchlines to this. One, you flipping moron, that's illegal. There was just something on it today. Second off, you moron, you can't threaten us with legal action for something that's illegal. But here's the best line of all. His committee defending Gavin Newsom is entitled, are you ready for this? Stop the Steal. Does that sound familiar? It's like, dude, you were just bitching about Stop the Steal like a month ago, and now you're stolen the name. So I cannot give Don Perata marks for anything. One, for being intelligent, not. Second, for being slimy, well, I'll give him a mark there. That's one. Third is originality. Dude, you suck. Come after us in the recall. We challenge you. And as always, there's an open invitation to Gavin Newsom to be on any of our shows to try to have an intelligent discussion and maybe discuss what's happening in California. Here's what we need everybody out there to realize. This is a battle. And the reason we're saying, hey, we need donations, we need thing every week, there has to be a legal channel challenge to 663. Now, let's go on record. It will probably not affect the Gavin Newsom recall. Probably? Let me explain something. They're sneaking it through their supermajority without what's called an emergency declaration. That means that most legislation that goes through the state Senate and state assembly takes effect the following January. Too bad for you, Gavin. Too late for that. So what we're watching for is a possible emergency declaration. But more importantly, this is not communist China. You're not communist China, are you, Ben? Okay, I'm just
not yet.
making
Not
sure.
yet.
I lose
They're
track
buying up a lot of land, though.
I can tell. And apparently they're buying up our state legislature and assembly who wants the names of everybody who dares speaks out against them. So one of the things we need to make sure we do is keep our legal fund growing so we have the ability with other groups, if we need to challenge things like this. We put the scare into the other side. And of course, they're reacting like I would expect them to react, like a bunch of cowards afraid to speak up. In fact, Don, why don't you give us a phone call? Our phone number's on the site. We have like say an intellectual conversation with you, but I don't think that's going to happen. Now, April 17th is coming up, which I believe is Friday. Is that correct, Orrin?
I believe so.
Okay. On that date, the Secretary of State issues their next update report, which they'll probably be late on, so don't hang out in front of your computer looking all day long, etc. But when it comes out, it will more than likely show that we have enough signatures validated. Last report, we showed 1,188,000 signatures verified. Remember, it's over under. They have another basically 800,000 to count, or about 600,000 to count. So it may show it verified, it may not. Either way, the next official date is April 29th, when they're going to say, oh no, we should have stopped these people earlier. We're too late. We have enough signatures.
I think we're going to hear from them on Monday the 19th. Or on Monday the, yeah.
That is the 19th, Orrin. Very good. Thank you for giving me the calendar update. Either way, it's coming soon. We will hear from them. Now, this is going to make the ballot, which is why they're in a mass panic already. After that, there'll be again about another 30 to 60 days so the legislature could try to cook up something, which they can't, to stop it. And after that, There will be another period that will have to declare within 80 to 120 days. So for those of you that are baseball fans like Ma, think of it this way. About the time of the World Series, there will be a recall election. It's going to be a fun and expensive 4 to 5 months, but California politics is going to be taken back by the people of California. Oren?
It might be expensive, but it is the best deal California will ever have. We are going to get rid of this governor for pennies on the dollar. This guy has lost literally billions and billions of dollars in our taxpayer money. If you were to have put it in perspective with the loss of $31 billion, that's 62,000 single family homes at the cost of $500,000 a piece. 62,000 single family homes lost to government corruption, scandal, and fraud. Sorry, but when that happens on your watch, you're fired. You not only fired, you should be held accountable and prosecuted for the negligence that you allowed to happen under your administration. And I'd like to get to Cordy as soon as we can, or not Cordy, but sorry about that, Ben. I'd like to get to Ben as soon as we can. He's going to run out of daylight out there. Before
we get to Ben, though, I've got to say a few of the comments here tonight. All right, Patty, that's a great idea. We can, of course, officially authorize it. I've got to read this one. If Newsom wants to know who signed, maybe we should do a multi-million-person march in front of his door and introduce ourselves. Certainly, we're not suggesting that, nor do we want you to do that. But I said, if you want to write a letter to Gavin and say I signed, hey, that's up to you. We, the people who signed it, we, the people who started it, are very proud of doing it. And we stand second to no person, to no man, to no woman, to no party, the fact that this governor needs to be recalled. I'm sorry, Oren, I'm fired up tonight. Ben?
And you know what? I want to reassure people that government code 6253.5 is in place, and it protects your privacy if you have signed the Newsom recall. This is nothing more than a scare tactic. There are laws on the books in place right now to protect your privacy, and we are going to defend your privacy with everything that we have, every dollar that we have. And that being said, I can, with what they're doing and the political posturing that they're putting in place right now, I can foresee a lot of legal wrangling going on, but we have to have the funds in order to fight this battle. So we're in a true fight between good and evil. And right now, evil has the financial upper hand. They have a lot more money than we do. I'd like to say that we're flush, but we're not. We're taking in $5-10 donations here and there, but we need money to help fund this fight, to retain the best lawyers that we can find, and we have to take this to court. We have to fight this battle. So every little bit helps. Every dollar counts, and we need your help to secure a future in California that we can all live with. And you can go to recallgavin2020.com, make a small donation, make a large donation, help us fight this fight, help fund the battle.
With that being said, why don't you introduce Ben? Randy, we'll get to you in just a little bit. We're going to leave time to get to all these comments.
Ben's going to run out of daylight down there in the middle of the Resnick orchard that he's standing in, trespassing on private property.
If you see Ben duck and run, you'll know why.
Ben, welcome to the show. God bless you, my friend. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
What's going on today in your world? What's going on at the border? Give us an update.
Well, it's anything you can think of. As bad as you think it is, it's worse. I've been from Texas, eastern Texas, Brownsville, all the way across Texas and Arizona, New Mexico, and California, and it's getting worse every single day. It's the same mindset, though. So just so everybody understands, the battle that we're facing here in California against this worthless governor, who I had the honor of objecting to having sworn in at his swearing in ceremony, because he had no right to become our governor in the first place. He had already broken his oath multiple times, protecting illegal aliens at the expense of American citizens through his sanctuary policies. This guy should never have been there in the first place. But this battle that we're in, it's the same. The enemy, whether you see in Governor Cuomo, or you see what the Biden regime is doing now, the left, the open borders left, it's the same leftists that are controlling our school systems. It's the same leftists that are controlling our Sierra Nevada mountains and stopping timber harvesting. It's the same government officials, DAs, that are protecting criminals, protecting BLM and Antifa terrorists, while they're calling patriots who love this country, who stand up for this country, terrorists. They call us insurrectionists. They call, the people that actually love this country, love the Constitution, love what this country was founded on, and honor the sacrifice of the men and women who have shed their blood for this nation. They call us the enemies of this nation, when in reality it's they that are the enemies. And so what we're seeing down there is it's beyond belief, really. I mean, the cartels, anyone who supports open borders, it's real simple. You're simply supporting the cartels, as well as now these leftist organizations, these NGOs, multinational organizations, many of them based out of America. We have a big one here in California, El Ocholado, who's down there in Tijuana. They're training people on how to break into our country, and then they're taking our tax dollars to help them break into our country, basically, how to subvert our immigration laws. And it's all being supported by Newsom and by the left in California and all across America. While they're shutting down our businesses, while they're destroying our economy, they're inviting more people in. While they're saying you can't go out and celebrate the 4th of July with your family, America's Independence Day, you can't gather in groups. They're inviting more people into America that have COVID. And in fact, right now, the number one group of people that was coming across when I talked to Border Patrol just a couple of days ago when I was down in Tijuana were Brazilians. And it's ironic that it's this new Brazilian strain that they say is coming across, whether it's coincidental or not. This is the battle that we're in. They're destroying us. They're destroying our families, destroying our lives, and saying, well, open your door and let more people in. Or actually not even open your door. They're saying, don't get upset when somebody breaks in your back window and climbs into your house and steals your stuff. Because that's what's happening right now. I mean, that's what open borders are doing. They're trafficking children. The cartels enriching themselves. It's an absolute total disaster. It's not a crisis. It is a disaster for America.
A catastrophe. Hey, Ben, I know that we all have care and compassion for these kids, because these kids are being used as a political pawn in this mess. And, they're being housed up and down our state here in California in different holding facilities and so forth. I'd like to do something for the kids, because it's no fault of their own that they're being put in this position. They are far from home. They've been taken from their families, everything that they know and hold dear. Basically stripped from everything that they're familiar with, and thrust into a foreign land and put in these holding facilities where the conditions just look atrocious. They're stacking them up like baked potatoes on a barbecue grill. They're just wrapped up in those aluminum blankets, and they've got no creature comforts, no familiar things that they're used to having around them. What can we do for those kids to help make their life a little bit better during this melee?
Well, let me address just a few things in regards to that. The children, anyone under 17 is considered a child. Some of those so-called children are actually cartel members, gang members that are coming up. A lot of these guys, because of the corruption in their countries, because of the economies in their countries, they join these gangs at 10, 11, 12 years old. They become sicarios before they're 15 years old,
Wow.
which means they've murdered up to 18 people. I mean, not everybody that's coming up that's a kid is even a kid. I mean, these guys, a lot of them are hardened, but a lot of them are. And we've got infants and children and young children. And these children are being sold by the cartels, and sometimes being sold by their families, because a lot of the families are desperate in desperate situations. And look, if I was in a central American country or South American country with a socialist government, and I had no opportunities for my family, and I saw this giant present called America that said our doors are open. I don't fault the people that want to come here, but I fault the people that are getting them here and that are enticing them to come here. And these children, it is an absolute tragedy. I spoke to Border Patrol in Yuma. They said in that sector alone, they had 3,500 children that were considered recycled. They were sold by the cartels to men, to cross the men over the border, and then they were sent back to Mexico and sold again to other men. They're raped along the way. They're sent with birth control pills and morning after pills because they know they're going to be raped along the way. It is evil. It is the epitome of evil, what is going on down there. And one child in particular, just to give you an example, the Border Patrol said was recycled 17 times that they know of. This is pure evil. And these children, I can't even fathom what they've gone through in their short lives already. I think anything that we can do for them is a positive thing. The issue that I have is we have to de-incentivize this. And right now, one of the things they're doing is sending children across. Some of the parents are actually parked in Mexico, and they'll send their children across because they've been trained to do that by these leftist organizations. And then a few days later, they come and say, well, you have my child, you need to let me in. And so they're using it as an anchor. They're doing it, all kinds of terrible, crazy things. Bottom line is we have to stop it where it is. But for the children that are here, I think, again, anything you can do, there has to be a separation, though. And talking to one person that was involved with they're doing psychological evaluations of the children in a lot of these camps down there. And they're saying that these children will not be able to function in American society, and especially not at the rate that we're receiving them. You talk about psychological wounds that these kids have, what they've been through, what they've seen, what they've had to experience at such a young age. It's unfathomable. So, anything we can do. We've got 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 2-year-olds. It's heartbreaking that I see them every day coming across and they've got tears in their eyes. They don't know where the heck they're going, why they're there. I have young children myself, and I just can't imagine putting them through that. So
I'd like to do something for those kids. I think that, we can wrap our collective minds around some of the solutions, some of the things to maybe help these kids where they are. And, we don't want to provide an avenue for them to break the laws. We want people to enter the country lawfully. We want, we're not anti-migration or anti-immigrant, but we do
That's
want
right.
the people to come in a lawful manner and participate in the migration process.
Right.
There's no cutting in line. There's no bypassing that process. I don't care if there's, the herd mentality or whatever, but I think that, Ben, between you and I and Cordy and Mike and Randy and everybody involved, there has to be something that we can do. Maybe do raise some clothing, some board games, some books, give them some of the creature comforts, just to let them, have something to comfort them while they're in this state. But I don't know what to do. It's a crisis. The kids are a victim of what's going on. They're political pawns, like you said.
Yep.
The gang members are using and abusing them. And this is a reverse anchor baby, right? Is what I'm hearing you explain.
That's exactly it. And, like I said, it's tough to know what to do. Bottom line is this has to stop. What we have going on here and what the Democrats are asking for is more child trafficking. That's what we're getting. It's child trafficking. It's human trafficking. It's sex slavery. A lot of these people are sold into slavery. Some areas you have to pay up to $8,000 just to cross. And you're talking about people that are coming from desperate poverty, have no money. All they're doing, what that means is they are now owned by the cartel. So when they come across here, and when people think of the cartel, you think Mexico, Central America. The cartel is in America. They control many communities in America. And when you come across, you've paid them. You've basically been bought out by them. You are controlled in America. We have modern day slavery going on in this country. Going back to your point, though, Oren, I'm pro-immigration. My wife was a legal immigrant from Laos. They escaped communism to come to this country. I'm all about it. If you come in the right way, you come in the front door, you knock when you come in, and I say yes, then absolutely. And that's what our nation is built on. But the what they're actually doing is hurting legal immigration. They're hurting people that are in line. All of those cases are now backed up as well. So the people that have waited 5, 10 years to get here, done it the right way, are bringing skills to this nation. They're the ones suffering as well. But you're right. It's tragic. It's tragic. You know, I'm torn on it as well. I think the kids deserve better. They're being treated as pawns by evil men and evil women who do not care about them. All they care about is power and enriching themselves.
I also want to say too, some people ask how this relates to Newsom. There's only so many border states in the country, and the commerce, look, I lived down in San Diego for 40 years. That commerce is really pretty big. And every time I drove, like I drove to One America News this week, flashing is a sign the border is still restricted. For legal people that want to go back and forth across the border, although it's a federal issue, it's up to the state of California to pay attention to that. And Newsom pandering basically to what he thinks is his base that makes people feel good is hitting a lot of hardworking people that go back and forth across the border every day. They
Hey,
can't
Mike,
do it.
to your point, Chris made a valid point. You know, there are children here in California who are suffering. Chris, your point,
That's it. Absolutely.
Your point's not lost on us or this panel. We understand that this is exacerbating that problem, and we don't want to lose sight on the fact that people here in California are already suffering, and it's this governor. And there was somebody that had mentioned, can we please wrap it back around to the recall and tie this topic to the recall. This is where it connects to this recall, because there are people. We have the highest homeless rate in America. We have the lowest quality of life, the highest taxes, and this governor's open policy or open borders policy, his incentivizing program where he's giving California tax dollars to foreign migrants who are coming into the country illegally, housing them, providing clothing and hotels and food and so forth to folks that are coming in illegal. That's incentivizing illegal immigration. And this is what we want to draw attention to, but it's no fault of these kids. And yes, we do have to tend to the children who are here suffering, the people, the homeless that are here suffering in our state, before we do anything to help anybody come into the country unlawfully, et cetera, et cetera. But we have to put a plug in the barrel or put a Band-Aid on the wound and stop the bleeding, because California is bleeding out right now as we speak, and we have to do some triage. We have to stop this problem right now, and we're doing it at the governor's office. We have to remove him from office and replace him with somebody who's going to be accountable and representative of the people that they serve.
So let me say a couple things. Oren, we're talking.
Hold on, Mike. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, it's absolutely all tied together. I just got a message saying my phone's about dead. Sorry I didn't bring my charger with me this time, but if I go black, you know why. But this whole thing is all tied together. So illegal immigration, every state is a border state in the nation, but illegal immigration disproportionately impacts California more than any other state in the nation. We have 9% of the illegal aliens in our state, but we have 25% of our prison population is illegal aliens. Our school systems are being overrun, not just with illegal aliens on the border. You have people coming across that actually live in Mexico, bring their kids across into San Diego or into Imperial Beach, drop their kids off at American schools, pick them up and take them back into Mexico every day. Everything is impacted, from low wages to destroying our businesses and protecting illegals. But really, the sanctuary state issue, that one in particular, pisses me off, because you're talking about people that have broken into our country, have committed additional crimes, and then they're protected by people like Gavin Newsom. It is all connected. It is absolutely all connected. And the people that are getting screwed are the tax-paying citizens of this state. And whether they're legal immigrants or they're born here in California, everybody who is here as a citizen of this nation is screwed because of people like Gavin Newsom. This is just one of the crimes he's committed on a whole list that he needs to be recalled for. It's all tied together.
Ben, God bless, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know your time is valuable, and I'd love to have you back on again. As you know, we do a radio show down there in Los Angeles every Friday night. It is Friday nights at the French Laundry with myself, Orrin Heatley, the head chef, and Mike Netter and Brandy Economy. People can listen into that broadcast at kabc.com. They can listen live from 7 to 9 p.m. So, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that, the first step is to, basically slay the village dragon. That's Gavin Newsom, get him out of office. And then we need to make steps to change the course of what's happening in our state, what's happening in our country. And you are on the front line, as they say, doing that. God bless you.
One other thing that we haven't talked about is the amount of illegal aliens that actually vote in California as well, which again is all tied to that. You talk about the fact that Gavin Newsom is even in office. The amount of voter fraud that is in California pales most states in comparison, and they don't even want to look at it. That's why they don't want to look at the books, which is ironic because they want to verify every single signature in this recall effort, but they don't verify any signatures when it comes to the vote in California. It is pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. The double standard is out of control. Gavin Newsom needs to go, but so do 100 other Democrats in the state of California. You're right. He's
Bernadette asked,
it's time.
to your note, Bernadette asked, how does an illegal alien or an illegal migrant vote? And it's Bernadette, to answer your question, it's through the motor voter registration at DMV. There were over 500,000 people sent jury notices through the motor voter registration, because once they receive their driver's license in California, then they're subject to jury duty as a citizen of the state. But they were rejected at the courts because you have to be a citizen of the state and the country in order to participate in jury duty, but there's nothing stopping them from voting.
Yeah, in fact, they have to opt out. It's up to them to opt out.
Thank you very much. I don't want your phone running out of power and you go off because people wonder what happened to Ben. Speaking of,
thank you guys.
So thank you very much. God bless you. Hope to have you on a radio show. Before we jump to Randy here for an update.
God bless you, Ben. Thank you.
God bless you, Ben. The reason you can't see it on Facebook tonight is a new feature from Facebook because we used apparently some NBC content and they picked up on it. So that's why it's not being shared. So lesson for the future is a new feature coming tonight on Facebook doesn't allow it to be shared if we're using, even though it's part of the public domain. So that's why that's happening. Randy, why don't you give us a media update or just say something intelligent?
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity, Mike. I was trying to get a word in with Ben, but I didn't. He jumped off too fast. But I wanted to see if maybe we could work with Ben to actually do a media event together in regards to the crisis with the border, and also to see what Ben can do to help us to reach out to his followers to try to help raise some money for us. Because as you know, the mother milk of politics is money, and right now we're in a precarious situation where we need to really work with the media to get the word out that we're an all volunteer organization, and we depend on mom and pop donations throughout the state and throughout the country. And today, with Governor Newsom putting out his edict saying that he's completely broke with his campaign, that those $3 donations really didn't go too far for him. Hint, hint, hint. So it's never about the $3 donation; it's about the $3,000 donation that will be coming down the road. And we really do need to go ahead and continue to work as hard as we can to put the money in the coffers so we can be successful from this day forward. But as far as the media is concerned, it's been another phenomenal week. We continue to defy every odd in the world in regards to the amount of press we've been able to get. Orrin's appearance yesterday in the state capitol with other volunteers became a media thing, kind of a little bit of a media frenzy. We sent out a press release today. You can go to the website at recallgavin2020.com, read it, and it's about this Josh Newman bill. And we want everybody to take that press release and all press releases that we do and tweet them out and put them onto social media and share them with your friends. If you happen to know members of the media yourself, go ahead and make sure you can send it to them as well. But again, we've got the big momentum. I think this next week is going to be absolutely incredibly insane if the Secretary of State reaches and when she announces the fact that we are over our 1,497,000 threshold. I think we're going to be foisted into that media pit again. So we're excited, and again, we want to make sure that we can control the message and making sure that the messengers are not going off the reservation, so to speak. And so if any of you get a calls from media members, please do not speak to them until you talk to me or Oren and Mike, so we can go ahead and coordinate a very solid message. And we can get this thing put together. But again, it's been another historic week, and I think it's going to be an amazing next 5 or 6 days coming ahead.
Thanks, Randy. I want to tell a couple things here to everybody understand. Angela Marston, who everybody knows at the Pineapple Grill, said it very best, I think, when I was with her. She said it a couple of times. It's interesting. When Pineapple Grill was going out of business and they opened the thing across the parking lot, no members of the Liberals reached out to her. Only, it seemed, the people of conservatives had a heart. There's about 1,500 kids that probably could use a toy or a hug that have no idea why they're there. And I want to say that we're fighting for everybody in this state. We've started at the top by taking out the head of the snake, which is Gavin Newsom, which is going to happen. But reality is, everybody deserves compassion, and frankly, to be blunt, because I am ticked off tonight, the Liberals don't seem to give it. They don't seem to give it at all. They do a lot of yapping, they do a lot of talking, and the Democratic Party certainly wants to protect itself. And I'm going to do another rant. I saw in the feed a little bit here, people are asking about Newsom resigning. Christine Pelosi, does that last name sound familiar? Happens to be Nancy's daughter. Brought up the fact that if Newsom does not think he is going to survive the recall election, he should resign to protect the Democratic Party. How does someone whose mother is the Speaker of the House not mention the people of the state she lived in her whole life? I want you to really think about that. It's just protecting the Democratic Party. I'm appalled by some of the things I actually hear them say on the press and out of their mouth. And I'm tired, and Randy doesn't like this a lot of the time, sorry, of being a little bit timid about it, because the scoreboard it's getting on the ballot, Gavin. And there's a lot of reasons everybody needs help. From all the people that are out of work up and down the state. Ask how you could contribute. Go to recallgavin2020.com. That's how you can contribute. If you want to help us.
Sorry. I'm just having a sneezing fit. That's why I had to.
Yeah, I wonder why you went off the air. You left me with the show, which is never a good thing, Lauren.
It's spring here and everything is in bloom. I'm in my backyard, and I've never experienced allergies in my life, but I just had a sneezing fit, and I apologize for that, folks.
Is there a guy outside your fence with a little pump that looked like Gavin Newsom? I'm just asking.
Hey, I just want to go back to Randy real quick. Randy, I am going to be back at the Capitol testifying in front of the State Judiciary Committee on Tuesday. Okay. So if people, and guarantee you're going to get some calls.
All right, that's great. We need to formulate another press event and something around your appearance and your speaking. And I know a number of other people that are wanting to go ahead and speak at that particular event of major importance here in California.
We only get 4 minutes in front of the committee. 4 minutes.
But what we get is we get all the media there as well, and we get the media to attend, and then we can go ahead and control the message more than just 4 minutes.
I'm going to get my 2 minutes, and then one of our partners in Sacramento is going to get 2 minutes. And, it's tough to fit it all in that little window of time. But I just want everybody to know, this is a battle between good and evil. It's not going to stop here. We have to keep pushing forward. We need the resources to drive this thing forward. We're going to have some upcoming legal battles, and the attorneys that we're having fight our cause are not cheap. We need the best of the best on the books, on the job, and we need the resources to help fund that fight. So my request is that even though you listening, you may not be able to give everything you can, you may know somebody who can help provide what we need. $1 here, $1 there, $5, $5,000, $50,000. Everything helps. Every dollar goes towards this battle and to fight this fight. So I'm just saying we have to keep the French Laundry on the air. I talked to people today. They're very adamant that needs to continue. We need to support that radio show. We need to support this podcast. We need to support the message going forward. This is our way of getting the word out to the folks that need to hear it. And we need your support from the audience to help make this happen and to help continue it. It's not easy for me to pass the hat. That's nothing that I've ever been comfortable with doing. It's extremely difficult as a sergeant with the Yolo County Sheriff's Department for 25 years. I've always been the one that provided the help, and it's very difficult for me to ask for help. Okay. That's not something that's in my blood work. Okay. But when it comes down to it, you have to know that, you have to look at it and go, okay, I can't do this alone. We can't do this alone. Randy, Mike, myself, we can't do it on our own. And we're not independently wealthy. We're not politicians. We're not public speakers. We are concerned citizens like you guys are. We're all non-paid volunteers. And, for the most part, and we need the help and support of everybody. This is when we have to come together to pull our resources to unify in this one cause towards a common objective, and to make sure that we're all successful so we can secure a future in California that we can all live with.
I also want to say something else here. Okay.
It was Randy's turn, but go ahead.
Oh, Randy, go ahead. Okay, thanks, Randy. I also want to say something else, and I'll put Randy back on. Randy, you don't need to, he's like raising his hand before. It's like, dude, you've been with this crowd long enough. Jump in or get rolled over. Okay, that's why we're.
Yeah, it's impossible to roll you over, Mike Netter. I'm just
Randy,
saying.
welcome to Words in Edgewise between
Good
Mike
Lord.
and Oren. You have to have a sharp tongue if you're going to cut your way into the conversation.
Come on, man, I'm a pirate. I don't need no sharp tongue. I got a sharp hook.
A couple things here. I want to make sure we get out. Again, certified April 29th. That's when we find out the count. It's really not going to rig it. Merchandise, we're getting it together. It's a lot of money. It's taking an extra week and a half. It is coming in. And that's a real important point. Because when we get the merchandise in, about the time it's going to explode, to your point, Randy, all right, with the getting verified and certified, that's the time we need to get the word out. And I see a lot of things on the feed. This one for governor, don't like this. It doesn't really matter. It does matter in the long run, but what matters most is that we stay united to get Gavin out of office, that we continue to stay united. This is what we need funds for, folks. This isn't a money beg. This is simply a reality. They are going to outspend us. And for everybody out there in the media watching, I don't care, all right? Because they're not going to outspend us, but they're not going to outwit us. They're going to outspend us, but they're not going to outwit us.
The other thing too, Mike, is we just want to remind everybody that you're going to start getting solicitations from groups and organizations that use the term recall Gavin Newsom. They're not, and if it's not from us, it's not from us. And we urge people, do not donate to any other organization. Do not have your friends donate to any other organizations. If you find something that looks a little shady, pass it over to us. We know there's a lot of political sharks in the ocean, so to speak, right now that are using Recall Gavin Newsom to raise money, whether it be through their political action committees here in California or through the National Democratic Governors Association or the Republican Governors Association, whatever the outside group is. I mean, there's only one official campaign, and that's the one that we are all on this call is. And we need to keep reminding people of that because we can't continue to give our resources on this campaign to other people. We just can't do it anymore, and we can't play nice, if you know what I mean.
As we draw down here, a couple quick updates and a couple quick things again. We can't get every question answered. As you notice, we started sending out emails again this week, so our attendance is up. You want to see a replay of the show, it'll be on YouTube. Facebook probably has it blocked. We'll fix that next week. But more importantly, everybody, call into our Friday night show. We're there live on the air to try to answer as many questions.
What's the number, Mike? 1-800?
1-800-222-5222. But more importantly, it's on KABC, 7 to 9 Friday night. And frankly, I don't know what the hell you're doing at 7 to 9 Friday night, but I can't think anything too much more important than at least listening to what we have going on and tell your friends to do it too.
And you can listen in live at
KABC 790. You can
KABC.com, Mike.
KABC.com, Mike.
KABC.com, Oren. Oh my God. KABC.com, 790.
Thank you.
Most of our people found their way to Zoom tonight. They will find their way on here. This is what we have to remember. Every week, every day, every moment in the recall, it's a long fight. We're victorious in round one. We need to continue to be victorious. It's our state. We have to take it back, and it's up to us, the people. Anybody?
Somebody asked, where can they donate? That's an important question. They also asked, what can they get? With donations, and our store is going to be up. We are offering flags, car flags, magnetic strips for your car, so you can take your bumper stickers on and off if you go into the store. If you don't want people to know your political affiliation while you're in shopping, so you can rip those magnetic strips off your car and put them inside, out of sight, out of mind. We're also going to offer yard signs and 3x5 flags, like the one behind Mike. And the one behind Mike was a gift to us, and we appreciate the small gift that somebody had sent in. We found those. I found some of those on my doorstep, and I gave them out to a select group of people, and we appreciate that fine gift that somebody had mailed in. There you go. So we're also there. The DIY graphics are going to be put up, and people are going to have access to print their own stuff. You don't have to buy it from us, but every dollar that is donated and you get a gift of, a flag or a bumper sticker and things like that goes directly to fight this battle. So we do need, people to make those purchases and make those donations. You don't have to, donate to get something. You can just do it to fight the fight, but carry on. Tim, I see you online. Hi, buddy.
I think we're going to probably end up with more additional things like t-shirts. I know a lot of people love t-shirts, so I know we're going to probably have to go ahead and
we have to front the money to get a lot of these done, and it's
right.
Expensive.
It's about the money, people.
Tim, go ahead and say something.
Yeah, so there's a lot of volunteers out there like myself, Mike, Oren, volunteering. Oren, did you want to talk about that football scene?
You know what? Absolutely. For the people tuning in, over the last year, I had kind of an iconic scene that and we're probably going to get banned from Facebook for airing this too. But if we're already off Facebook tonight, we might as well do it. But there's a scene from, it's called The Death Crawl Facing the Giants. Is that the title of it, Tim?
I believe so.
Watch this.
There you go.
Take a great way to end the show, Tim.
Your night down as a loss, Brock? Well, not if I know we could beat them. Keep your knees off the ground, just your hands and feet. There you go. A little bit. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. 10 more. Keep going. Don't quit. Give me yours. You can. You can. 5 more. 5 more.
Let's go. 50. Let's go to 50. I don't have any more.
Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone.
On that note, I want to say thank you, everybody. I know a lot of people I see signing off because they only allot so much time. Please listen to us Friday nights at the French Laundry. Let's continue the fight every day. Every time you need something, contribute to recallgavin2020.com. Wear your gear proudly and tell everybody that you're damn proud you signed the recall, because I'm damn proud we're taking California back. Thank you and good night.